Did you know that every single day, over 4,000 times, your brain is being blatantly programmed to think like a consumer and not a creator? And every time you buy a shiny object, you are trading your future freedom for a temporary dopamine hit. In a world dominated by generic AI content, the only digital asset that matters and will matter is your genuine human voice. If you are ready to stop wasting time and start building a simple system that works for you, let's change your mindset today. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Herman. I help frustrated affiliates protect their mindset against the traps that waste their money and precious time. My goal is to help you cut through the hype, stop chasing distractions, and build simple systems that fund your life instead of stealing your freedom. In this video, we're going to break your addiction to the affiliate entertainment loop. You know, the Netflix for affiliate addiction. I'm going to show you exactly why your mind craves that safety of being an eternal student, how to spot when a product launch is selling you infotainment instead of real tools, and how to use modern automation to reclaim your time and finally become a creator. Let's be entirely honest with each other. We've all been caught in this cycle. You buy a new course, you're really excited about it, you log into the members area, and you spend several evenings absorbing the information. You take notes, you really like how the presenter has organized the information, and you feel a genuine sense of accomplishment while the video is actually playing. You get it. Everything makes so much sense now. But here is what happens the moment the video ends. The momentum you're feeling stops. You close the tab and nothing changes. Few days go by, then maybe weeks, if not months, and you haven't implemented a single word of what you learned in that training that excited you so much. You haven't sent an email, you haven't built a page, and you haven't created a single digital asset. The truth is, you didn't buy the course for transformation. You bought it for entertainment. You're treating all these affiliate marketing courses as if it were a type of Netflix for affiliates. And if you are honest with yourself, it is slowly becoming the most expensive streaming subscription on the planet. See, here is the thing. Because of the type of society we have built in the last, give it or take, 150 years, we've been conditioned by decades of corporate life and compulsory public schooling to believe that sitting at a desk, like what I'm doing right now, and absorbing information means that we're actually making progress. It's an illusion. And now, in the age of AI, where technology can handle the technical setups and formatting in seconds, just knowing how to do something isn't a competitive edge anymore. Let me repeat that. Knowing how to do something does not give you a competitive advantage anymore. If you're just consuming information without somehow showing up as a real, living human creator, you are not building assets. You're just binge watching a fantasy. To break this cycle, we have to look at the psychology of why your mind loves this trap. And no pun intended. Whether you've already spent 20 years trying to go up the corporate ladder and are desperate to escape it, get out of it, or you're approaching the end of your career and looking for your next chapter, you share the exact same condition that we all have been subjected to. You've been trained to think like an employee and a consumer. And that's a fact. For decades, your day has been structured by a boss, a schedule, and a paycheck at the end of the month. And that was something that was 100% sure as long as you went to work. When you try to step outside of that comfortable employee blueprint to build an online business, your brain panics without the structure because it's the only thing it knows. And like a normal brain, it craves a sense of security because its prime directive is to make sure that you survive, no matter what. So, how does it do it? Well, it turns you into a perpetual student. Why? Because being a perpetual student of an online course is the perfect shield. In the first place, it gives you a temporary sense of accomplishment. When you spend your evening watching videos, you get to tell yourself, hey, I'm working on my exit strategy. I'm working on my dream and I'm learning a new skill. And skills pay the bills. The point is that even though it feels productive, psychologically, it's just a hiding place. Think about it. Being a student is safe. A course will never reject you. A tutorial will never criticize you. And the AI has been programmed to always treat you like a king so far. But here's the thing. The moment you stop watching and actually try to put your own voice out there by trying to produce something, you risk being judged. You risk failing. And that can really be terrifying. So, how do we break out of the Netflix for affiliates loop and actually start moving the needle forward in our business? Well, it does require a complete identity shift. That means you must change how you see yourself completely, at least in relation to how you generate an income, your business. You have to stop acting like a consumer who pays to be entertained and start acting like a creator who is building assets. In this particular case, digital assets. And very important, you have to drop the employee mentality. And in the times that we're living in right now, this transformation looks very different than it did even a few years ago. Every single day you see a new shiny object promising that some automated process will do 100% of the work for you. They call it DFY, or done for you, and they're always a hit. They tell you it will write all your emails, build you amazingly beautiful websites, and generate your content with a single click. And if you're actually using AI agents, not even clicks are needed. Sounds very enticing, doesn't it? But let's take a look at the trap inside that promise. If a machine writes all your text, handles all your interactions, and sounds like every other generic AI bot on the internet, where are you in that business? I know. You might be 100% okay with a faceless business where AI is talking to AI and they just conduct businesses without you featuring in it at all. If that's the case, good for you. But that's not what we want to focus on this channel. I am interested in people who want to build their own personal brand and based on that goal are invested in maintaining some type of human contact alive, even though they're willing to take the advantage of the benefits that working with AI gives them. But if you haven't built a personal brand that helps you connect with other humans and are not interested in it, then I'm sad to say that you have just become an assistant to a piece of software. The truth is that in today's world, data and generic content are incredibly cheap and super easy to come by. You just gotta go to ChatGPT or Gemini and ask for it. That's it. Simple. What is rare though, what people are actually starving for is real human wisdom and genuine life experience. And I honestly believe that as time passes, this will become more and more appreciated. And if you're starting now, you will have an advantage. But how do we specifically go about transforming ourselves into this type of person that's a producer instead of just a consumer? First, we need to understand what we mean by the word transformation. Well, it has several aspects. Remember, the goal is to become a producer instead of just a passive consumer. Somebody who gives instead of somebody who just takes. From this aspect, true transformation means using technology to handle the mechanical, repetitive tasks so that you can step forward as a human being. In other words, reducing the load of work you have got to do in a smart way. You don't need to spend 3 months learning how to stitch together 10 different complicated pieces of software. That is just another form of hiding in the getting ready phase. Instead, You use a simple pre-built backend system like, I don't know, the OLSP Academy, where you leverage a single link like the Mega Link or the Mega Live link to handle the heavy technical lifting, the tracking, and the automated sales processes in the background for you. Why? Because cutting out the technical noise buys back your time, which, in my opinion, is very, very important. It frees your mind from the digital clutter so you can focus on the only part of the business that AI cannot copy yet. Your unique voice, your story, and your ability to connect with other people who are looking for an honest guide which is driven by your inner world and personal experience. You know, that part with the real feelings, real struggles, and real emotions. When you stop binge watching tutorials and start using simple leverage, your entire daily routine changes. You stop collecting information for entertainment purposes and you start using it for execution. You transition from a frustrated spectator into a real digital asset builder. But to make this stick, you need a strict boundary and strict rules. You need a daily set of rules that are simple but force your brain out of consumption mode and into implementation mode. So, are you ready to start taking action? Let's look at the concrete strategy you can put in place starting today. In the meantime, if you're finding value in this video, don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell. I'll be very thankful for that, and it will help the channel take off bit by bit, which is what we want to achieve. Okay, the first distinction is very important and you need to understand it very, very clearly. To break the Netflix for affiliates loop permanently, you cannot rely on willpower alone. That's not going to work. Science reveals that pure self-control is nothing more than a short-term strategy. If you want consistent transformation, you have to realize that your environment is the invisible hand that shapes your behavior. It grabs you and forces you to do certain things over and over again without you even noticing it. Think about it for a second. Every day, there are lots of things that you do because you are in your own house, your own environment. Like, I don't know, maybe going straight to the fridge when you get home from work to grab a drink. If you do this, you must realize that it doesn't require willpower to do it every single day when you arrive from work. It just happens. Why? The famous psychologist Kurt Lewin summarized this with a powerful equation. Behavior is a function of the person in their environment. This is exactly what happens in this example about opening the fridge when you get home from work. But what about other behaviors that might not end up being that innocuous? If your digital environment is cluttered with over 100 browser tabs of sales pages of new launches, unwatched courses, guru emails, and distracting software logins, your brain will naturally choose passive consumption over real work. It is just going to happen. To fix this, we're putting on a 3-rule psychological shield today to redesign your environment, rewire your brain, and force you into execution mode. And even though we're talking business here, these techniques can be used in any aspect of your life to create a new identity, a transformation that pulls you forward in life. So, here are the 3 most powerful rules that productivity experts agree will help you stop being a consumer and turn into a mega producer fast. Rule number 1, redesign your environment. Here's the thing. By massively increasing the friction required to indulge a bad habit, your chances of breaking it grow in a big way. But it's not just enough to break a bad habit, because you then just have an empty vessel. What you must do now is install a good habit in its place. And you do that by reducing the friction for this type of habits you do want to implement, the good habits. In his book, Atomic Habits, James Clear highlights how simple changes in surroundings completely alter human choices. It's what experts call choice architecture. So here is your first rule. Completely clean up your digital workspace. This is a different way of saying avoid pre-programmed distractions. Set up your browser in a way that's minimalistic. Avoid having hundreds of open tabs. I personally use the Vivaldi browser as it allows me to create workspaces with just the tabs that I need for the task at hand. Everything else, even though it might be open, I cannot see. Don't try to promote 10 different systems all at once. Concentrate on one system only, maybe two. This brings simplification and avoids distractions and overwhelm. See, by reducing your digital friction in these ways, and any other ways you can come up with yourself, you stop burning your mental bandwidth on technical noise and free yourself to actually do the work to become a producer. Does that make sense? Rule number 2, move your brain from thinking to doing. What? I know it sounds weird because how can the brain do? The brain thinks, right? Let me explain. This second rule requires a shift in how you use your mind before you even touch a keyboard. Science proves that focused mental rehearsal physically rewires your brain. Through neuroplasticity and the principle that neurons that fire together wire together, repeating an action clearly in your thoughts builds new neural paths just as effectively as the physical practice. I know, that sounds like a mouthful. As Dr. Joe Dispenza outlines in his research, you can actually master a completely new level of mind through pure thought and feedback. Stop opening your laptop blindly just to wander into the student loop. Before you log on, spend 2 minutes mentally rehearsing exactly what you are going to produce. See yourself writing that email or executing that one specific task. Wire the circuit in your mind first, and the execution will follow. Rule number 3, commit to your future self, not your former self. In his book, Be Your Future Self, Now, Dr. Benjamin Hardy explains that the human brain is a prediction machine pulling us toward the future we're most committed to, the one that our brain accepts as more realistic. Also, renowned psychologist Dr. Hal Hershfield discovered that the quality of your current choices depends entirely on how vivid and connected you feel to your future self. So, when you buy another shiny object course, you are giving into a cheap, short-term dopamine hit because you are disconnected from your future identity. Look at top creators like Jimmy Donaldson, who at age 17 locked in his massive trajectory by heavily committing to this future identity and setting scheduled video time capsules for 6 months, 12 months, 5 years, and 10 years out. Now the question is, was he successful? Oh, you bet. See, by remaining super connected with his future identity, he went from a teenager making videos in his bedroom to becoming Mr. Beast, one of the most famous and successful creators in the world so far. There you go. 3 simple rules that when you apply them can help you kill the consumer mentality that will certainly destroy your dreams. If you keep treating this industry like an entertainment streaming service, it will continue to consume your hard-earned money and your most valuable remaining years. Stop hiding in the safety of studenthood. Reclaim your environment, wire your brain for action, and step into the identity of a producer. Now, if you want a simple pre-built environment that cuts out the technical friction entirely so you can focus 100% on execution, take a look at the OLSP Academy ecosystem. It gives you one clean layout and a single primary link, the mega link, which handles the automated selling and heavy lifting in the background. It's the exact tool-killing infrastructure I use at the moment to minimize my tech stack and maximize my freedom. If you want to see how it works, I have left a link for you in the description below and right here on the screen. Let's draw that definitive line in the sand right now. Leave a comment below with the words, "I'm building my future self," and tell me which of the 3 rules we talked about you are going to be implementing today. Oh, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to protect your focus, guard your time, and build real assets for the second half of your life. I'm Herman Bock, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.